Welcome, watchmakers and watch enthusiasts. I just bought my first staking tool. Any guesses where I got it? I got it on eBay. This is my first staking tool set. If you don't know what a staking tool set is, it is an old school analog watchmaking device that is a bunch of punches and little anvils and a frame to align the two of them in, and it's used for attaching and removing watch parts. All right, let's dig in. I'm going to use this. This is my new Victorinox Bourgeon collaborative pocket knife, and what makes this special for watchmakers is it has this integrated watch case back opener. We're not going to use that for this. We are going to use this, the big blade. This thing is packed. I don't even see seams. Oh, there we go. We are making progress. What do we have here? It looks like it's a box in a box. Rare Vintage Watchmakers C&E Marshall Moseley Staking Tool Set, near mint. We're going to see how near mint this staking set is. I think we have a box in a box in a box. High marks to the seller for doing a really good and creative job of wrapping. Okay. Do you hear that? First peek. There's a handle. It's on its side. Let's stand it up. Let's settle things into place. My goodness. Do you think I can just grab this and lift? So far, I'm impressed. It comes in this nice wood box. First look. All right. Don't go away. I'll be right back. And just like that, I'm back. Where did I go? I had to get some cleaning supplies because just between you and me, this stinks. Now, full disclosure, the seller said that it may have been from a smoker or it was more of an acknowledgement that sometimes people are smokers. So that's all I'm going to say. I do want to see the press. So let's open up the press, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give all of the attachments a nice bath in IPA. We'll give them the full sauna treatment, and then maybe we'll get this case cleaned up just a little bit, get them all back in place, and then I could bring you back in to the party, and we'll take a look at the different stakes and stumps that come with this set. So for right now, though, let's keep things interesting. Oh, there's all sorts of more goodies down there. But let's take a look at this. All right. Do you want to know my first impression? This thing is so small. Oh my goodness. It's like miniature. I mean, I've seen these in photos and I've seen these in videos. I've seen them a million times. I had no idea they were this small. Wow. Okay. Look how beautiful the finish is on this. Now, this has to be between, I don't know, mid-1940s to mid-1960s of all of the different sets that I saw on eBay. This just absolutely looked like one of the cleanest. There's the underbelly. overall, I'm very impressed with the condition. Really very little in the way of rust. Who knows, maybe all of that tar and nicotine preserved the metal all these years. I think I'm going to glove up and do a little bit of cleaning, and we'll come full circle on this video. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. It's 5 hours later, and I have a big container of nice and clean and shiny steaks. I lost track on counting how many steaks I had, but I'll make sure to report back. I was very lucky. There was almost no rust on these. Everything you see in here was cleaned up with isopropyl alcohol. The other thing is I have 2 sets of steaks. So there you could see the number on this steak. So I believe this is the set that came with, or these are the steaks that came with the staking set. And then I also have this set, which is also in great shape and is basically unmarked. I didn't see any identification on here as to what these different steaks are. So there's a mix of these two. It's probably, at this point, I think it's like 2-to-1, the original to this secondary set. But hey, I'm not complaining. More is better, right? So because this is turning so stiffly, I think maybe it just needs a little cleanup. And I believe the way it's held on is there's a couple of bolts on the bottom which are secured with locking nuts. And so if we can figure out some kind of tool to get in there to loosen the locking nuts, I think these parts should just unbolt. But overall, it's in fantastic shape. If I had to use this today, I could, but I just want a little bit more range of motion. I want this to be a little bit easier to turn and manipulate, and just has some sticky points. And so I just want to address that now so I don't wear something out if there is a friction point in here. So very pleased with this. I have 18 various stumps and specialty stumps. Like I think this one is a roller table remover. Plus I have a series of 5 specialized roller table clamps. I guess you'd use this to remove a roller table, that then fit into this screw down holder, which sits on the staking tool. And these are also in great shape. And once the storage case is sorted out, we will sort these out and put them in order. So since these parts are more intricate, I think I'm going to run them through the ultrasonic cleaner, then give them another bath in IPA. Oh, and I also got what looks like 4 steel hinge pins. Not really sure what to do with it, but there you go. It came as part of the deal. One of the 2 lock nuts under the staking press could be loosened with a regular socket, but the larger nut requires a specialized spanner wrench, which I don't own. Here I'm trying to modify an automotive clip pry tool by grinding down the edge to fit between the lock nut and the side of the press. I had to adjust a few times, but I finally got it to fit. I'm sure it's not the best solution, but it was a solution nonetheless. I have to confess that I didn't fully understand how these parts were being held in place, and I was a little bit anxious that I wouldn't be able to get it back together. But I had enough range of motion to get some spray lube on the parts that were sticking. Nice and loose. Beautifully tight. Okay, front, back, left, right. Lock. Lock. Nice. Take a random stake. Lock. Let's see if we flip it over. There you go. Look at that precision. And it drops right into the cup if we want to use this stake as an anvil or as a stump. Okay, very nice. Now let's see, is it holding position? Yeah, very good. Just a little snug. Okay, and we can snug that down anywhere we want to. Very nice. Okay. I've inverted one of these sorters on some paper towel overnight just to see if any oil would drip out. I want to give this a really good cleaning before reintroducing the nice clean stakes to it. This one still seems to be epoxied in place. It's like a hard plastic, like a Bakelite, but maybe I can tease it out just like this one came out. Having let it air out, it doesn't smell as much like smoke anymore. Oh, there we go. It's starting to come away. Haha. Let's see if there's any treasures under here. No treasures. Just basically more of the same. So the right side has the addition of 2 rows of smaller holes up at the top, along with 1 larger hole. I think that this might be the stake pulling tool. Fresh shellac chips. Oh, that was rewarding. So we have 83 labeled stakes. 18 of the generic unlabeled stakes. We have a centering stake. And then we have 1 stake that either got fractured or someone ground down to make like a half tip. And then this is the puller that is used to handle the stakes to make it easier to get this in and out of the case. I don't know if this is going to work. We're just going to use some household oil, lubricates and protects, and we're just gonna, let's just make a salad. Here's the oil. Boom, boom, boom. Little vinegar. All right. Now let's toss it. Nice and gentle. We're just gonna rotate it. Oh, so yummy. Look at that. Okay. Piece of clean cloth. Just pick up a little bit of the oil here on the cloth. Now I think we'll just wipe it off and lay him down. In the home stretch now. All right. I think I'm going to let these just kind of ride it out on the paper, see if any more oil comes off of it. All right. That was kind of fun, kind of tactile. So we'll see if any more oil comes off. And with that, we can turn our attention to getting the case back together. The outside of the mahogany case is in good shape, but I wanted to kick the looks of the interior up a notch without going through much trouble. Since there are scars inside the case from the staking frame rubbing, I decided to add some velveteen panels to protect the tool and give the newly cleaned interior an upscale appearance. How'd we do? We're going to take a little bit off the top. Use wood glue. Just put that aside to dry. After test fitting the new case liners, I'm attaching the sorters to the sides of the case with a little hot glue, which should let me remove them if I ever want to refinish the case more completely. I cleaned the stumps and accessories in a warm ultrasonic bath of dish soap and simple green. With a water rinse. Oh, that's looking good and clean. Followed by an isopropyl alcohol dip to remove the water. And dried the parts under my warm air blower. Moseley uses a lettering system to designate the type of stake, and then they add a number to the letter, with the lower number starting at 1 being the largest stake, and then it going up as high as 34 stakes. Right now, everything is laid out A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, no L. These are M stakes. And these are R stakes. I don't even know what R stakes do. I'll have to find out. I took these images from the Moseley catalog. All of the A lettered stakes are fat-faced. All of the A stakes are flat-faced hollow punches. All of the B stakes are round-faced hollow punches. I put a tick next to the stakes that I have that were part of this set. The only B that I don't have is the B18, and I do have an A18. So that's the only mismatch. But other than that, I have a 1-for-1 match on just about every one of these stakes. And then the specialty stakes have their own letter. For instance, the C series, 1 through 9, is flat-faced solid punches. The round-faced solid punches are the D series, 1 through 9. Tapered mouth closing punches, E1 through 9. You kind of get a feeling for the system. So now I'm going to get all of these in numerical order, and I've already sketched out just a rough plan of how I want to put this into the case, and that is subject to change. I'll have to start using them and, see what logically lays out. Oh, the other thing is these generic stakes, I haven't really come up with a plan for because I haven't identified them yet. So I thought maybe the exercise of going through these and getting familiar with what they are and what they do will then give me some additional insight as to where these get sorted. But for right now, I'm going to sort the originals. I'm going to give them priority in the case, and then we'll just have a section in the case for these incidental stakes, and we'll learn as we need to. Oh, and I may as well mention this here. I have a sheet from the catalog that shows all of the Moseley stumps, and it gives them a number, and it says what they do. So now I'm going to give them a light oiling with the oiling rag that we used on our stakes, and I'll figure out what I have, do an inventory, and then we will put them into our newly cleaned up case as well. And then we can start staking stuff. We're going to just go right down the line. There's my 17. We're going to skip that hole for 18. And now in no particular order, I'm just going to load up the generic stakes right up here. Okay, Chip, we'll put you over there. Just going to call him Chip. And here's our centering. I'm liking how this is looking. Stumps and stuff. Well, we'll put the specialized ones over there. The generic looking ones over there. Let's see if we can figure out what we have here. This is my tool picker-upper. So if you were trying to get out this one and you just can't get your fingers in there to get it, just slide that in there and it extracts your stake. Well, that's a 1/4 inch. So I would say that this one is a number 2. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Everything has a home. Final test. Will it close? Speaking of closing, thank you for watching and supporting my channel. I'd like to share some bits of information based on my experience with this staking set. But before you go, if you liked the video, please click the like button and leave a comment. If you're new and you want to sign on for more wristwatch and watchmaking adventures, please join our growing list of viewers by subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. So, what have I learned buying this staking set on eBay? I think the number one takeaway is there's no replacement for buying a set that's in good condition in the first place. This is a precision tool, and any set requiring aggressive rust intervention might lose its accuracy. Second, a fellow watchmaker that's much wiser and older than me suggested that it's better to get a good basic staking set than to spend top dollar on an all-in-one staking and jeweling multi-purpose tool. If you'll be setting jewels, a dedicated jewel press will give you a higher degree of control and versatility. And a couple of tips can be broadly applied to eBay purchases. First, take advantage of the Make an Offer button if the seller offers one. I threw out an offer of about 70% of the asking price on this set, and I was thrilled that my offer was accepted. Another tip, if you're buying something that comes in a case, and the case is the first product picture, don't get your hopes up. I found some staking sets in rough condition, but which had relatively pretty box pictures. And finally, some sellers accept returns. So know the return policy and try to work with someone that has a good reputation. While eBay tends to favor the buyer in disputes, who needs the headache? If you've got a tip that I haven't mentioned here, please share it in the comments section so others can join the conversation. I'm Mike, the channel is Watch with Mike, and I look forward to our next time together. Not stumps. These aren't stumps. What are these? What the hell are these? Why do I want to say stumps? And why do I feel like that's wrong? Stumps. I'm stumped. Did you ever just have a word sound wrong to you? Like, even though you think it's right, and then you talk yourself out of thinking that's the right word? Well, for some reason that happened to me with stumps.